So today also we'll create one smart form from the beginning. Okay, so that you'll be having better understanding on it. So what are the different windows in smart forms?
Main windows,
Main
secondary
window,
window,
secondary window, final
final
window,
window,
and copies window.
copies window.
Okay, and you already know the properties of each window.
Yes, sir.
And how to call a smart form in your driver program?
Through SSF function
Yeah, we have to
module
use
name.
ssf underscore function underscore module underscore name function module. So the input for this function module is smart form name,
Form
and the output is the function module
function.
generated for that smart form. I've already told
Yes,
you,
sir.
right? Whenever you create a smart form, it will automatically generate one function module, right? We are
Yes,
going
sir.
to call that function module in the driver program to trigger the smart form. If someone asks you how to trigger a smart form, what is your answer? We have to call smart form function module in the driver program to trigger the smart form, or we need to configure this smart form in NACE transaction. So there is a special transaction code NACE. So this transaction code is used to configure the smart forms. For example, whenever you go to ME23N and go to one purchase order, so it's already by default it's opened on purchase order. If you need to take printout of this purchase order data, we'll be having this print preview option. Looks like the configuration is not done here. If the configuration is completed, when you click on this print preview, right, you should be able to see one smart form layout or SAP script layout, whatever the print layout they designed for this purchase order. What are the different print layouts available in SAP?
Portrait
Yeah,
and not.
SAP scripts, smart forms, or Adobe forms. So whatever the print layout configured for this purchase order should be displayed here, generated here. When you click on print preview, okay, there are many standard transactions, right? Like sales order transaction, material transaction. For every transaction, depends on the requirement, we configure print layouts to take the printouts, right? So for that, SAP has already provided standard smart forms, or we can also configure the custom smart forms. The transaction code to configure these smart forms or print layouts is NACE. NACE. NACE is the transaction code. Here you can see this is for purchase order related configuration, right? This is for purchase requisition. Similarly, we have different sales to configure the sales order print layouts. Output types. Go to output types. Here you can configure print layout. Okay. Simply you can add your custom smart form or standard smart form here, so that whenever you go to VA03, and go to one order, and when you click on print, so whatever the smart form or whatever the Adobe form configured in NACE transaction will be triggered. Okay. No output has been selected for printing. So there is no proper configuration here, NACE configuration. Otherwise, it would have generated the print layout. No output has selected. Okay. So for standard transaction codes, where we need to configure the forms, print layouts, in which transaction code we use to configure the print layouts for standard transaction codes?
NACE.
NACE is the transaction code. Here we have output types. So we configure these output types in NACE transaction code. If it is a custom smart form and we need to use a custom program, how can you trigger a smart form?
By private program.
Yeah, by using a driver program, we can trigger a smart form by using SSF function module name and calling the smart form function module name in the program. It will trigger the print layout, right? That is the difference. If it is a standard transaction code, to add your
NACE.
even if it is a custom print layout or standard print layout, if you want to add print layout to the standard transaction code, where you can add it?
NACE.
NACE transaction code. That might be a custom print layout or a standard print layout. You can add it in NACE. Okay. Just like SAP standard tables, SAP has provided many standard smart forms, right? Sometimes we need to enhance the standard smart form. How can you enhance the standard smart form? Usually we copy that standard smart form into custom smart form and do the changes, right? Once your changes are completed in NACE, standard smart form is already configured, right? For that standard transaction code, it is already
Yes, sir.
available. So in place of that standard print layout, we provide the custom print layout which we changed, which we added additional options, additional features. In place of standard print layout, we replace with the custom print layout in NACE transaction code, so that whenever you click on print in the standard transaction code, your custom print layout will trigger automatically. Okay, right? So if you are not using any standard transaction code and need to generate print layout based on some custom functionality, how can you do that? So the smart form print layout is based on some custom functionality. It is not based on any standard transaction code. Then how can you trigger the print layout?
In a private
You
program.
have to write a driver program and you have to select the data, depends on the requirement, and call your smart form function module inside the driver program. Okay, clear? So we'll quickly create one form. Create, provide the name, go to form interface. So what is the data that we need to print here? So what is the data that we need to print here? For example, let's print some the data from material management table, Mara table. Okay, let's print data from Mara table like this. For that we need to pass the data, right?
Yes, sir.
So we'll pass tabular data, not a single record. We'll pass the tabular data. Along with that, we'll also print customer details. We'll do one thing. We'll print yeah, im underscore kna1 type kna1. So is this a work area like structure or internal table like structure?
Work area.
It's a work area like structure. Okay. Now go to tables. I'll define one parameter, IT underscore Mara. Like, here you have to use like. What is the alternative for this? What is the alternative for tables?
Table type.
Create one table type and provide the table type name here. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir.
You can use both options. The recommended approach is using table type only. Okay.
Okay,
Clear?
sir. Yes, sir.
Now I have defined one internal table like structure using tables, and I defined one work area like structure in importing parameter. Now go to page. So this is your page. Double click on your page and select the format. Select the format of your page. In form attributes, in output options, you can select type of printout. Is it A4, A3 or any letter or anything? And you can also define the size of the print layout. Okay. This is size of the print layout. And go to form interface. We defined the importing and tables parameter. And if you need any work area or internal table like structures which you need to use inside this, you can define here in global declarations, in global data. You can also write code inside initialization event, initialization section. It is not the initialization which we are using report programs. Okay, it is different. Here we can write the program code, select statements, but now we'll pass it from the driver program only. We are not going to write any data select statements here. Now design the print layout. So this is my main window. So on the top, I'll use a logo. I'll create a window. First, I'll create a window. Create window. This is logo window. Inside this window, first I'll place this window in a proper position. And here, I would like to print some customer data, customer details. Okay. First, we'll add the graphic to this logo window. To add the logo, what we need to create? Graphic, right? Create the graphic. And what is the first step? We have to upload image in SC78. That is the prerequisite. To add graphic. How to upload the image to SC78? Select the bitmap image and select the logo or the image which you have already created. Sorry, import. Go to import. Select the image. Provide the name. And select the color bitmap image and continue. That should be it's already exists. I will use logo name 1. Continue. Hello. So my logo is created. To check the existing logos, select the logo name here. Print preview. It will display the existing logos. Okay. So where we do all these things in SC78. To transport this, to add this logo to the transport request, use this option, transport. It will ask for a transport request. Select your relevant transport request and add, continue. Now you can transport this logo to the further systems, test system or production system, right?
Yes, sir.
Now go to general attributes. If who's not speaking, please mute yourself. Logo name, selected the logo name, it is auto populating the object type as graphic and ID as bitmap. Select the bitmap image, and you can also set the resolution so that it will adjust the size of the logo, okay, which is printing in the smart form. That is completed. In output options, you'll have shading, frames, etc. Okay, conditions. If you want to add any condition, okay, it will print the logo. For example, field name or Kunar equal to some value 100. Okay, if customer name, so this logo will print only for customer number 100. Okay, it won't print for other customers. Clear? And I'll create one more graphic. It is logo 2. Go to general attributes. I'll upload a different logo. I'll add a different logo. See, here I am demonstrating the conditions, how we are going to use conditions. Okay, the example scenario for conditions. And I'll select a different logo here, logo name, right? And go to conditions, and I'll add some condition. When this logo should be displayed? When customer number equal to, for example, 200 or 2000. For customer number 2000 only, this logo will be displayed. Otherwise, the other logo will display. So this is how we use conditions to display logo. Depends on the condition, so that dynamically logo will be displayed here. Okay, if the input is customer number 100, this logo will be displayed. If input is customer number 2000, the other logo will be displayed dynamically. Okay, is everyone clear on that?
Sir, conditions may be only single values only, sir.
Yeah, you see, if you see here, you have multiple values also, just like select options.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can also use pattern. For that means if name contains am, anywhere in the name there is a value am, then print this logo. That is pattern. Exclude pattern. Okay,
Okay, sir.
the field name should be the importing parameter or global declaration which you defined. Okay, I've already used one importing parameter right here, form interface im_kna1. From that I am using this field in conditions. Okay, Is everyone clear on this? Is everyone clear what we are doing here?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
we are displaying the window or logo, depends on the condition. Okay. So if customer number is 1000, we are going to display one logo. If customer number is 2000, we are going to display the different logo. Or if customer number is something, we don't need to display logo. That condition also we can add. Okay. You can also add this at the window level. You can also add this in the window level also, or individual logo level. That is your choice. Okay. If you add it to the window level, it won't display the complete window. Depends on the condition. Okay. Clear? Now we are done with the logo. We'll create one more window. That is to print some customer details like customer name, customer address, like that. Yesterday we displayed the address. Depends on the address number, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ADRs.
Yeah.
ADRC.
Today we'll try to add custom fields. Okay, our own fields in the window. So this is my window for address or customer details. This is my customer window. Window is nothing but inside the window you can place your text, graphics, everything. Just like a folder, just assume like a folder. Okay, so that you can place all the objects and you can move these objects from wherever you want. Okay, keep all the relevant details in one window so that you can move easily. Clear? Now inside the customer window, so I need to print like this. I need to print like this. Customer number, some number, customer name, some name, like that. Okay, clear? How can you do that? Go to window and you need to create a text. Okay, and you need to create the text. But from where this value should be populated? From where this value should be populated? From the driver program, right? So whatever the value we pass from the driver program, that value should be populated here dynamically. This is not a static value. This value is not a static value. This is static. Always it is customer number and customer name. But the corresponding values, right? Those should be populated from driver program, right? So please observe how we define these dynamic values. The values which we print dynamically. Now go to window and create text. We created one text. Provide some name or customer ID. I'll say this as customer ID. Okay. Name is optional. You can use any name. Go to general attributes. Here you can find word based editor to enter the details. Okay. If you want a bigger one, click on this text editor. Please be on. Go back. Hello. So this is customer ID, right? This is static value. But how about this value? This should be coming from the driver program, right? Dynamically, right? From where we are getting this customer ID? In form interface, im underscore kna1, we have customer ID, right? Clear? Go to
Yes, sir.
text and you need to use insert field to define the dynamic values which should be print dynamically. You need to use this symbol insert field and use @im underscore kna1 hyphen kunar is the customer, right?
Sir,
@
KN1. Spelling mistake.
continue. Clear? Any questions?
Sir, KN1 రాశారు.
Yeah, okay,
KN1.
okay. Go to insert field. Don't change it manually, okay? Always use insert field. Continue. If you observe, this static text is in one format and this dynamic field is in different format, right? Clear? In output options, conditions, you can utilize this. You know how to define a condition. If you want to display customer number depends on some condition, you can add some condition here. Okay? Just like logo. And we have events here. Only on the first page, not on the first page. After end of main window only, before end of main window only on page 1. Okay? These are the events we have. So we can use these events also to display this value. So we are done with customer ID, right? Next we'll create one more text for customer name. Customer name. Go to general attributes. Type customer name and go to insert field name1, right? Continue. That's it. Similarly, you can add any number of details here, right? Clear? So
Okay, sir.
I'm using only these two to print at the top. Now go to main window. In main window, I would like to display. So my form is like this. So my form is like this. My print layout is like my print layout is like this. For one customer, it will display this logo. For another customer, a different logo will be displayed because we have added conditions, right? Depends on the customer number, the logo will be changed automatically. And now here it will display data in tabular format. And at the end, some text For example, some terms and conditions like that, or contact numbers, contact details, etc. Whatever the details you want to print, right? So the above two are secondary windows. The table we are going to display it in main window because it should automatically expand to the next page. We know, right, how many transactions are there? Depends on the number of transactions. It should automatically expand to the second page. Okay. And here terms and conditions. Is everyone clear till now?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So we are
sir.
done with logo and the header data, customer number, customer name. And now go to main window. Here what we need to create? We need to create a table. Which one? Create the table. Use some table name. So what is the table or internal table type we defined? Mara, right? So we'll take Mara table. So you can just see earlier we created joins, right, on EKKO, EKPO, and sales order data. So instead of this material data, you can also use that. The data which we selected using joins, you can print here in the smart form. Okay. Now, so material data, this is the table. Now go to the table and select this option. This is the table uh, format. How we want to display the format, without frames or with frames, right? Display framed pattern. Then select this. It will display with frames. Similarly, like this. Otherwise, it won't display these separated lines. Okay? Clear? And what is the total table width? Here we can define the width of the table. Depends on your requirement. How many fields you want to display in the field. And you can also select color. In which color you want to display this table. Okay? Is everyone clear on that? So we created the table and we selected the table display pattern with some frames. Okay? Clear? So what does the table contain? Header. Here, header, uh, material type. What is this data? This is table heading data, right?
Yes, sir.
Here you display the values. For example, 100 FERT. Sector is some mechanical, like that. What is this? What is this section? This is body, right? The main data. So this is the header data, right? Now go to the table. What are the different options we have? Header data, main area. What is header data? What do we need to do in header data? We need to prepare the headings, table headings. Right click on the header, create table line. Please observe, create table line. Okay. So this is the table line. One second. Go to table, go to details. Yeah, don't create the table line yet. A line is already been created. Okay, so just rename this as per your requirement. For example, I'm using this name. Go to details. Here you have details. Okay, in the table tab you have details here. Click on that details tab so that you can see this line type. So here what is the total width here? 16, right? 16 centimeters is the total width. These are individual columns, 1 2 3 4 5 6 like that. Okay, how many fields you want to display in the table? For example, I want to display material number, material type and industry sector. 3 fields to display in the table, or 4 fields, created date also. Okay, so let's divide this 16 centimeters into how many fields? 4, right? We have to divide this 16 centimeters into 4 fields because we need it for 4 fields, right? Or if it is for only 3 fields, how can you divide? I'll give 4 centimeters for the first column, that is material number, 4 centimeters for the second column, that is material type, 4 centimeters for the third column, that is industry sector. How much now? 4 4 8 8 4 12. How many remaining?
4.
4 is remaining, right? Or you can use this as 3. How much remaining now?
1.
1.
5. So here, observe here, what is the total table width? 16 centimeters. So we are dividing that 16 centimeters into different columns. If you want, you can also increase this table width. Depends on your requirement. Okay, you can also increase this table width. Depends on your requirement. Okay, or decrease, increase or decrease. For example, I'll take it 15. 4 4 8 8 3 11. What is the remaining?
4.
4.
Also.
Now I need 4 columns. I designed 4. Now go to header, right click and create table line. Before creating the table line in header, you need to perform this. Go to double click on the table, go to table tab and click on the details. In details, you have line type and the total table width. Use the total table width and define your line type. Depends on the number of fields, adjust the size. Okay, for one field you may need to you may need to have more length, and the other field you may need to have minimum length. Depends on the requirement, adjust it. So go to header and create the table line. Select the table line which you have already created. Okay, so here also you can add conditions, or if you want, you can change this header. So how many columns it is generated? 1 2 3 4, right? It is automatically generated 4 columns when we selected this table line. How it is generated these 4 columns? Because we defined 4 columns in the table line, right? And we allocated some space, right? Correct? In the table line. So we allocated space for 4 columns. That's why it is generating 4 columns. Now this is for header, right? Right click on the each column and create text. Go to general attributes. What is the first header? What is the first field? The first field is material. Material. Go to second field, second column, create text. What is the second one? Material type. Third one, for example, some industry sector. Sector. The fourth one. These are all from Mara table, which you have defined as tables parameter, right? So if it is a different structure, use different field names. So for fourth one, what is this? Date. So I'm done with the header. What is the next thing? Values, right? So these values should be dynamically displayed, right? For example, if you are passing 100 records, these 100 records should be displayed here, right? In the main area. For that, go to main area. And right click, create table line. Select your line type. Here also, it is automatically generated 4 columns, right? But what we need to add here, the dynamically populating data, right? The dynamically populating data, right? We have to add here. That is IT underscore Mara. The data is in IT underscore Mara, and we should be able to display that data here in this tabular format. Before that, go to the table and table data. What you have here? Internal table. This is the loop. So to display the internal table data using write statement, what we do? We used to loop it, right? Loop it into work area, and from work area we are going to display it, right? So here also we need to use that loop. So what is our tabular parameter here? IT underscore Mara, right? Provide that IT underscore Mara. Go to data. Into what? Into what? We need a work area, right? We need a work area, right? To loop this, go to global definitions. Define one work area. For example, WA underscore Mara type. What is the associated type? Mara only. Because we defined table parameter with type Mara only, right? Go to global data and define one work area, and come back to the table and go to data and use it here, work area. Now our internal table is looping into work area. You can also use some where condition. For example, material type should be only FERT. Okay, you can add where condition to this loop if required. Clear? Is everyone clear on this? So now here we are adding our internal table to table. Our internal table data to the table. We are mapping our internal table data to the table here. Is everyone clear on that? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So after mapping our internal table data to table, define your main area. Go to the each column, right click, create text. What we need to type here? Here we need to display the value, right? Dynamic values, right? How can you add dynamic fields? Go to insert field and use @ what is the field for material number? Tell me what we need to add here for material number. Work area Mara hyphen Matner @ continue. Go to the next field. What is the next field? Next table column.
In the material
Material type.
Type.
So insert Mara hyphen MTART. Continue. Third column. Insert. What is the field name for industry sector? MBRSH. Continue. What is the created date field in Mara table?
AUDAT.
Date of last change. Created on date is ERSDA. Okay, we have added dynamic fields to all these 4 columns, right? Here we added the header names, and here we added the values, what needs to be populated in the table, right? And here in the table section we defined the line type with 4 fields, and we added the individual length for each field. And in data we added the internal table from which the material data is being populated, and we have already also used a where condition to display only materials with the material type FERT. That is just optional. Okay, depends on our requirement. The conditions is same. You can add your own conditions to make it visible or disable. So here you can also have an option loop only from 1 to 100, like that also you can add here, where we define this work area in global data, right? In global data we define this work area with the same type of this IT underscore Mara. What is this IT underscore Mara? We defined it in form interface tables, so that we can pass data from the driver program, right? When we call the function module, we can pass the data through this internal table, this parameter, tables parameter. Clear? Save. We are done with the table. Activate this. So it is activated. These are warnings, but it is activated. Okay, these are just warnings. Now we need to test it, right? So we designed one customer window and one logo window and one main window. In main window we are displaying the tabular data. We need to test it, right? How to test this? Usually if you execute this, it should display the output, but there is some issue in this function module generation, output generation. So copy your function module generated for SmartForm. What you need to do? Create a driver program. create it. Save in the local object. So how to call the smart form? Go to pattern. First call your function module. Usual smart form function module. So these are auto generated data declarations. So which one we need to pass here? One importing parameter is KNA1. The other one is material data, right? In tabular format, in internal tabular format. We'll write some select statement here. KNA1, is it internal table like structure or work area like structure? See, I'm using select star here, but because I have used KNA1 reference in the smart form. But please remember, you have already practiced this, how to select only limited fields. Please follow that concept here. Define your own structure with limited fields and use it in the smart form also. The concept is same. Okay. Or we'll take one parameter. Kunar, okay. I'm taking this as parameter and I'll pass that parameter here. Okay. And we'll pass this w underscore kna1 to this importing parameter. And for this one, material data, write one more select statement. I'm using star here. You try to create with only limited fields. Create a structure with limited fields and define the importing and tables parameter with that. For example, I'll select up to 20 rows. Okay. So I'll select 20 records. Pass that lt underscore mara to lt underscore mara, right, to this tables parameter and enable the exceptions. And also, what we need to do now? Call the SSF function module. So here it is generating auto-defined. We need farm name, right? Pass the farm name. What is the farm name? Or you can also make use of this one, or you need to hard code it. What is the farm name? This one, right? Provide the form name here, or define one importing parameter with reference to this form name like this, or a constant, make it as a constant value the form name, and provide the form name here. Both are same, but using constant is preferable instead of using hard coded value. For function module, enable this. It will return the function module name, right? So use some lv underscore f name or whatever the value you want. The type should be this. You can find it in importing parameters. Simply replace this function module name with the form name. That's it. Okay. Now test this driver program. Select some customer number. Execute. LP01. Print preview. Looks like I did not select proper tabular format. That's why it is displaying only this tabular layout for only material number. You can observe, right? This tabular data.
Yes, sir.
So this is your customer data, this one. Logo is missing. Can you guys tell me why logo is not printing? Why logo is not printing? Because we are using a
Condition.
condition, right? So what is our current customer ID? 500029. But what is the condition we are using here? Some 2000, some 1000, right?
Yes, sir.
We'll change it to 500029. Okay. Also go to the table. It is not displaying proper borders, right? Where you can find it? Go to table, click on this, display framed pattern. Select this and activate again. Select the local printer LP01, print preview. Now it is displaying the logo with correct format. I have to adjust this logo in the form because it is overlapping with main window, right? It is overlapping with main window.
Yes, sir.
Go to here and adjust the logo, or you can reduce the size of the logo. How can you do that? Double click on the logo.
Resolution.
Go to output options, maybe general attributes. You can reduce the logo. I use 75. Activate it. Go back to the program. Execute again. LP01 print preview. No, it is still same. I'll move little upside.
Sir, in resolution only 75, only 50 we have to give or not, sir?
No, there is a limit, I think. Why it is not moving? I'm moving it upside. Okay. Control F3, activate it. Now go to the program. Execute it again. Okay. So like this, you can print the data. In the header, you can print some data. Okay. You can even change the alignment of the table also. Here it is displaying all left just page, right? In the left side, you can make it center, I think. Go to the table. Data, not data, table, I think. In table, you have that option. Left frame, right frame. Okay, anyway, you got it right. How to create a smart form with tabular format. Is everyone clear on this?
Yes, sir.
This is how we create smart forms with tabular data. So once you practice the smart forms, so that there are a lot of advanced options. Okay, there are a lot of advanced options in smart forms like subtotals, grand totals. You can print. Okay, and you can print a lot of barcodes here. You know, right? Barcodes you can print. Before that, please practice this basic layouts. If you are able to understand this basic layouts, it is very easy for you to create the advanced options on your own. Okay, there is one more option I'll show you, that is page protect. If you go to any text, there is an option called page protect. What this page protect option will do, this one, page protection, right? If you select this page protect option, what it will do, for example, if you are typing some paragraph in one page, if you want to display that entire paragraph in a single page and it should not be split into multiple pages like this. For example, let's assume this has a single paragraph, right? If I use page protect, for example, it is at the end. How it is displaying? If I click on, if I provide more space, how it is behaving? It is completely, let me type some random data. Now how it is displaying? The single paragraph,
Great.
few lines in first page and few lines in second page, right? Correct? Let's assume this is the single paragraph. When I am typing more, how it is displaying? Few lines in the first page and few lines in the second page, right? Right? If I select that page protect, if there is no enough space, the complete paragraph will be displayed in the next page. It won't display half in the first page and half in the second page. Okay? The entire paragraph will be displayed in the same page. Okay? That is page protect option. Clear everyone? This one. For text you can select this. Okay? Clear? Yeah, that's about smart forms using tables. We'll see more examples. Once you are comfortable in creating the smart forms, we'll see some advanced options. But understanding these basic layout options are very important. Okay?